it's Shawnee. Welcome back. So today I am going to show you all of the makeup I took and did not use on my recent vacation. Maria Gizmo asked me to do this video, so I am going to do it now because I plan to unpack all of my makeup soon. Now, here's the thing, okay? We all know I went to Vegas for my birthday, my 40th birthday. So I left y'all 39 and I came back 40. Magic. So I was going to Vegas to meet my family. They were gonna drive up from LA and it's like a 4-hour drive. And also to see Kelly Clarkson, my love. So, before going, I was looking at the weather in Vegas, and it was like 112, 114, blah, blah, blah. I was like, I am not going to be wearing makeup in that weather. I know everybody says it's a dry heat, but girl, when they say dry, everything is dry. Like, my mouth was dry, my throat was dry, my skin was dry, my hair was dry, all this stuff. And I was like, I'm just not going to take anything really. Like, maybe I'll throw something in my bag. But friends kept asking, what are you gonna take? I'm like, y'all, I'm not gonna take nothing. But I was influenced. I was peer pressured. I'm not typically one to be peer pressured, but I was. So let me show you all that I took, and then at the end, I will tell you what I would have taken. So I'm gonna start with this Charlotte Tilbury little bag here. She came out with this, a couple months ago. I wasn't gonna buy it, and then I really thought it was really cute. I love pink, I love lipstick, and so I was like, this is super cute. And then my friend Tracy got it, and she said that it fits a lot of things. So this is pretty much where I had most of my base face products. So let's actually, before I go into that, let me show you a bag that I didn't even open. This is the bag that I didn't open. This has a mini Charlotte Tilbury spray, also a mini, what is this called? No, this isn't mini, I'm sorry. Also an Urban Decay face primer, the matte one, and then a Fenty gloss balm. And then some other random things I threw in here. There's some sunscreen in here. I know I said I didn't open it, but I did have a big bottle of sunscreen, so don't worry, I did put it on. And just like a Laneige water sleeping mask. So just little random things. And then a puff from Danessa Myricks. I didn't even open this. But let's go into what I did open and what is in here. So, as you can see, this has a lot of little compartments. Now, I did decide that I wasn't going to take any liquid foundation. I didn't want anything too heavy. I also couldn't decide which foundation to take. So I was thinking, I'm gonna stick to more creams and balms and things like that. So, one of the first things I packed is my Universal Danessa Myricks Blurring Balm. Now, this is a mini that I really like, and I like to use the mini when I go to work. Rather than taking an entire of the blurring balm, I just like the little mini. So I figured if I'm gonna need a base for something, then I can go in with this, and I know that it works well, so I knew I wouldn't have to worry. Moving on to more of the blurring balms. I was just all Danessa'd out, okay? So I took, let's put that back in there. I took three. I took 3 of the blurring balms. I took 3 of them. Why? The world may never know. I took shade 9 as my base, so I knew that I would wear this all over. Then I was like, I want to be bronzy too, so I took shade 10 for bronzer. And then I felt like they all had to go together. I didn't want to separate them, so I took shade 11 for contour. So I took all of those. Blurring balm ambassador here apparently. And then, I wasn't done. So I also took 2 of the blushes. I took Dancing Queen And then I took Rosé and Brunch. And then I was like, I'm gonna want some setting powder, right? So I took all of these. I took 4 shades of the NARS Soft Matte Advanced Perfecting Powders. Let me just go through which ones they are. I took this one, which is Bay. It is like a yellowy powder, and I wanted to use this for setting my under eyes. So like obviously needed that one, right? So I took that. Then I took High Tide. Now, which one is this? This is just a lighter shade. I don't know why it's here, but it's another one that maybe I could use for areas that I'm highlighting a bit on my face. And then I took Offshore. Let's open this one. This is the one that I use to set my entire face typically, and you can see that there is pan there. Can you see that? Can you see that? There it is. There's pan. So I use this one quite often. But I wasn't done. That's really the one that I use the most. But I figured they all have to be together. So the last one I took was Seafront. And this is the one I think I initially bought, but it was a little deep to use as an all-over setting powder. So now I just use it to like set my bronzer. So I took all of that. Then I took this brow pencil as well as some brow gel. I thought that was good. You always need those. Then I threw in here a couple of brushes. I took the Anissa Beauty foundation brush. This is one that I really like, and I knew that it was like multi-purpose. Like I'd be able to use this for all of my blurring balms, for my, my blush, concealer, everything. This is their powder brush, which I actually really like from Anissa Beauty. It's multi-purpose powder, and I like to use this with my powders. I dip in and I'm able to like press it in, and you can see that it is like very pliable, like it moves. It's not a stiff brush, so I really like that. And then I also took this BK Beauty 113. I wanted to use this in case I wanted to use a lighter powder under my eyes or forehead or anything like that. So that was all in this bag. So I want to say that this bag fits quite a lot because these are kind of bulky, right? Like these are pretty thick. So I'm impressed with how much this bag actually fit, especially since I was just like, everything has to go together and they all need to be together in the same place. So that was the base bag. Let's move on. Here are the lipsticks that I took, not counting the random lip glosses that I had in like different bags, but here are the lipsticks. Now, I don't purchase from Juvia's Place anymore, but a long while ago, I got like all of their lipsticks. So I knew that their lipsticks had all of the shades that I would want to have with me as options. So the first one I took was Toffee, and this one is like this cool toned like brown. Seems a little warmer on here, but it's like a brownish pink. I was like, I need something like that. That's kind of the shade I tend to go to in general. And then I also took So Red, which is obviously a red. I don't even think I've used this one yet. I also took, so that's 2. I also took Perfect Red. Because you need options when you're wearing red, right? Then I also took Cocoa, which is this really deep brown. There's more. And then Then I took Fierce, which is this one here. Because who doesn't need a berry? Who doesn't need a berry? And the last lipstick I took is actually one of my favorites. It is from Urban Decay, and it is the shade 1993. And there it is right there. So I took all of these, and the only one I wore was this one. So those were the lipsticks I took. I did take, what are they called? Lip liners and other brushes and stuff, but that's packed in the suitcase that I have yet to unpack, so I'm not going to open that just yet. But I took a couple brushes, a couple eyeshadow brushes, and I think just my lip liners. Now, the thing we've all been waiting for, the thing that we love the most, eyeshadow. So this is the eyeshadow I took. Now, in trying to determine what eyeshadow I would take, I could not figure out if I wanted to take like eyeshadow palettes. Typically when I'm going somewhere, I'll take like my minis, like I'll take my Natasha Denona minis or any other mini that I have that I find like has the shades that I want to. But this time around, I thought, let me take some singles, because then I could put together whatever I wanted and have like some more options, right? Because the minis just give you like limited options. So what I decided to do is I took this little bag. Now this little bag is from Kit Pak. Kit Pak is a brand of magnetic palettes that I use. I really like them because they're slim and they can fit a lot. So here is one of them. And here's what it looks like on the inside. Now, this little thing here fits 4 or 5. 4. This little thing fits 4 of the Kit Paks. And I filled up 3 of them to take with me. What I really liked about this is that everything could be together, and I find the Kit Paks to be really sturdy, so I knew I would be fine in terms of things not breaking, especially with your single shadows. You just want to make sure that you have them protected. And so initially, let me show you what I was going to take. So let me show you the first one, okay? So here is like the burgundy Kit Pak. And what I did was I put this thin piece of paper. It's actually a part of my Clean Skin Club towels. So I just cut it. Let me show you a regular one. And they are done. So this is one that I just used to wipe off that lipstick. But the regular one is like this big. So I cut it into pieces and I put the little paper here just to give a bit more like protection in there. So let's take this out. So these are a bunch of shades that I took. I had these over here that were all mattes, kind of neutrals from my Focus palette, the palette I'm using all year that's just kind of like neutrals. And then here are some shimmers, like shimmers that I typically wear, pinky ones, purple. And I could have stopped here because this is 20 shades. 10 mattes and 10 shimmers. I could have stopped here. But once I was like, I'm gonna take stuff, I was on a roll. Couldn't stop me, girl. So then I also decided, what if I want like some multi-chromes or something, right? So then I took more. These are all from Adept Cosmetics. So there are some mattes in here, and then there are some shimmers. And I really love their multi-chrome shimmers. I just really do. This is another 20. So far we've got 40 singles. We've got 40 singles. And then, last but not least, I was like, well, I also kind of want more. So what did I do? I put in more. So here you can see there's a little towel that just dropped down. And these are all Lethal Cosmetics. That's another 10. So we're at 50. We're at 50. And then here are some powder blushes and a powder bronzer, because this is the one that I typically use when I take to work, and I didn't want to take these out. And I was also like, I like having the option of balm products and powder products. So there's that. Now, rather than taking more eyeshadows, I decided to put my concealer in this little kit pack bag. So I went with a cream concealer because I was putting this bag in my carry-on, so I didn't want to have any liquids. So I took a cream concealer. I'm sorry, I took two. So I took the two from Marc Jacobs that I have, and this one is in the shade, ooh, let me see what it is. Deep 50. There's that. And then I also took the shade Tan 46. So this is the Marc Jacobs Accomplice Concealer. The second one there. So I took all of that. I believe I did use these. The eyeshadow. The eyeshadow I used. Let's see. Yeah, okay. So I used like this shade here, a little bit of this shade, and then this shade. So out of 50 eyeshadows, I used 3. I used 2 mattes, and I used 1 shimmer. That, let's do some calculation. You mathematicians out there, tell me what percentage 3 of 50 is. So basically I used about 6% of the product that I took. 6 whole percent, y'all. I didn't even get to 10%. It was 6%. So what I had thought I was going to take, what initially I was going to take was, I was going to take a Yummy Skin Balm, the one that I wear all over my face, and then I was going to take this kit pack with the bronzer, the blush, and highlighter, and this would have been filled with maybe 5 mattes and 5 shimmers. I would have then taken a mascara. This is the Perversion mascara from Urban Decay. And maybe I would have taken 1 setting powder. So maybe the one that I use to set all over. Probably would have taken a concealer. And I probably would have taken a lipstick. Oh, and I would have taken a brow pencil for sure. Wherever it is, it's back in here and I can't find it. So this is what I would have taken. This would have gone perfectly in my carry-on bag. I could have thrown this, or even a smaller one if I had it, into the bag with the liquids and such. And that's all I would have taken. But instead, I took this full bag. I took a full bag here, and then I took this, and I'm pretty sure I also had a bag full of brushes. So, what is the lesson that we have learned today? Stick with your gut and go with what you know. I knew how hot I was going to be. I knew that I sweat. I knew that I was not going to want any makeup on my face. Yet and still, child, I took everything. I took everything with me. I would suggest that you take one sort of thing for foundation. This is especially if you're going to a hot climate. Maybe a powder foundation, if anything, just to like give you some color, smooth everything out. Take a couple of eyeshadows, maybe actually take a mini that has like 5 shadows, and one that you can do like some lighter daytime looks along with some like more dramatic evening looks. Take your favorite lipstick. take a concealer, girl, and call it a day. Okay? Don't do what I did. I could have put other things in my bag, but this took up a lot of space. So, lesson learned, and I'm passing that lesson on to you. I took one for the team and I took too much makeup, and now I have learned, and I'm telling you, don't do it, girl. Put half that stuff back. You only need a couple of things. You only need a couple of things, okay? Enjoy your vacation. Don't worry about the makeup if you don't have to. Take all you want if you do want to. But if you know how it's gonna be, just stick to that. Tell me what you take on vacation. Some of y'all probably take more. And I'm guessing a lot of you take a lot less. Hopefully some of this was helpful, and I hope that you are continuing to take care of yourself. Be sure to like the video. Please subscribe to the channel, and also leave me a comment. Tell me what you take, because I feel foolish. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.